Hey y'all, welcome back. If you press play, thank you so much. I'm so grateful for your support. You just don't know. Now, it's free and it's a spoiler alert. We are doing a recap of season 5, episode 6 of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. It was a little slow for me this week. I don't know, what y'all thinking, but it was a little bit slow for me this week. But we gonna get into it anyway, child, because I know y'all ain't here for nothing. Now, one thing I do want to say before we get into it was a nice moment that Famous's mom had came. Olga had came to visit. Well, she didn't really come. She was on her way to the airport, and she came to drop some of Kanan's clothes off. Because you know how sometimes the kids' clothes can get um washed and stuff over other people's house and stuff. They was best friends, so she was like, here, let me come bring some of his clothes. Well, let me come bring all his clothes because I'm out. And they sat and talked, and both in their own way they made each other feel better about the mistakes that they made with the people that they loved the most. Now, they both agreed that the families are always going to be connected and they have to protect what they have left. And Olga pretty much was like, Sean, she was like, Sean would have wanted all of y'all to be happy, So that was a good moment. Well, what it started was with Marvin and Rock talking. And Marvin is still in disbelief, trying to process and make sense of Lou's death and the fact that it was his nephew, her son, who did it. Now, of course, she's like, my son, my son. And he's like, I could have killed him, and I still feel like I should have killed him. And you sitting here like, my son, my son. You lied. And of course, she got excuses. She trying to de-escalate, in her little way. But he not feeling it, and he not buying it. And his thing is, you always protecting Kanan. She like, listen, bro. More importantly, Joaquin got clipped, and we need a new connect. So what we about to do about that? He like, I'm all over the place. She's like, we still got a business to run. She heartless. And now we back at the house. We back at Kanan's house with him and Jarita, and she trying to nurse him back to health. And I tell you, man, Kanan looking crazy. Kanan looking like a mixture between Miss Sophia when she got out the white man's jail and Martin when he got into that Tommy Hearns fights on the Martin show, child. They got him looking crazy. um but still she trying to nurse him back to health. She like, listen, I know you out in the street selling drugs and this and that. He like, nah, I'm the money man. I don't he trying to make it sound cooler than what it is. I don't touch, no drugs, but he do end up confessing to her, yeah, but Rock is my mom. Your mom, hello? All this time I've been telling you about this lady and this your damn mom. So she mad. She like, listen, now I don't trust you. And he like, I care about you. It's, it wasn't real at first, but it became real and this and that. I got feelings, but I also got a business. And she fall for it. She fall for it, child. I ain't even gonna hold you. But later on, Juke is like, Juke, give it to him. Juke, she like, yo, you killed our uncle. Like, I had to stop my dad from beating you to death. And of course, he blamed Rock for every damn thing. She like, you can't have it both ways. You can't be a man and be a bitch. She told him he ain't shit, and maybe he never was shit. Juke was hot, but she like, I'm done. Because I thought maybe it was more to it than what it was, but you shot our uncle. So she pissed. Meanwhile, Breeze is following Hafiz around for Marchetti. And he ends up sitting down with Marchetti too. He like, respectfully, why am I doing this? We done cut Rock off at the knees. And Marchetti like, silence. Rock, everything about Rock. Everything about Rock. So he snapped, but then he do kind of agree, and he's like, Breeze, I respect, your caution and your restraint, you right, whatever. We see Marv end up blasting one of Kanan's apartments and shook all his soldiers up. They was shook up. They was all in there chilling, but scared the crap out of him. He ended up going to the grave and talking to Lou. He tell him that he all messed up and he don't know what he doing. He questioning everything with no damn answers. He want to do right by him, but he don't know what that look like. Rock ended up going to see a psychiatrist, and it's a psychiatrist, damn, that she saw when she went to see Lou at rehab. It was one of the damn family psychiatrists, child. She trying to like, I'm thinking, oh, she went to get help. I said, oh, that's homeboy. And he looking at her like he was looking at her before. She trying to bait him. Tell me what Lou was saying. Child, are you? No. But I can help you. Like, let me help you. I don't need no help. You know her. So we end up seeing Captain Baptiste at his retirement party, having a blast, cup in hand, telling NYPD war stories. But Detective Garcia steals him and like, yo, talk to me, on the side. Let me steal you for a second. And they talk on the side. Detective Garcia, yo, I know this is a forced retirement, dog. Talk to me. I got a couple questions, namely about Sean Figueroa. Look, he keep asking about Famous. Keep asking about him. Now, the next night, you see Detective Garcia go home, and Captain Baptiste is like, talk to me. So they go in his backyard or whatever, light a fire. And he's like, after 35 years of being in the NYPD, everybody crooked. And I mean everybody. It was a real emotional moment. He ended up telling him that it was Snaps and Pop that killed Famous. Yeah. He said their government names, but he was like, it was them. It was them. He was like, listen, for real, you the only one who ain't crooked. Meanwhile, Garcia crooked, because he been taking the money from Laverne. So, crooked. Later on, we see that Breeze is telling Kanan that he need to chill because he's still injured. He actually helping him up the steps as he telling him that, like, here, we had to blow that car up because, that shit went down with it. But here go a new car. And Kanan, like, first of all, because Breeze was like, you injured, somebody one of your youngins might try you. Kanan, like, first of all, ain't nobody gonna try me. Second of all, my mom tried to give me a car. Don't nothing come for free. Breeze was like, you my brother, it's free. Child, we see Marvin end up visiting Flossie, and pretty much Marvin just got all these feelings, and him and Flossie had this conversation. Flossie's like, killing the person who killed my daughter didn't make me feel better, but I don't regret it. But at the same time, I don't miss my daughter any less. Like, that's still there. That's a void that can never be filled. She pretty much told Marvin the best thing that he can do is put all his energy behind his daughter. Put all your energy behind Juke. So then you see Marv meeting with Juke and remember the little girl, the little niece later on that day, they at the park, whatever. The little niece telling that the cops still don't believe her, and that the neighbor told the cops that she's seen a black dude leaving. And remember, Marv told her to tell them there was a white dude with tattoos, but she was like, because she got scared, so she told them she wasn't sure, so she kind of broke her story a little bit, so they on it a little bit. Juke tells her to go off and chastises him like, what are you doing? What you got this little girl into? And he tells her, listen, you know what I'm saying? It was on some old no good deeds unpunished type shit. He like, have Garcia look into that. Because, like I said, Garcia on the take, she passing him money so they could kind of have him in their pocket or whatever. Breeze and Marchetti finally sit down with Hafiz. And they pretty much tell him, don't fool with Rock. Line up with Breeze, And Hafiz is like, Rock hasn't been meeting his supply demands. You know what I'm saying? But why y'all giving me such a generous offer? You know what I'm saying? And Marchetti's like, look, Breeze can exceed anything Rock ever did. Hafiz is like, what about Manhattan? Marchetti's like, I'll handle Pino, and we know what handle mean. You feel me? So Hafiz ends up going for it, but Marchetti handling Pino, I don't know. Because remember that episode, Pino was like, Marchetti always try, but he gets to him first. So we gonna see what happens with them two. We see later on, Rock goes to Hafiz and she gets shut down. And she's pissed because she gets shut down to the point Hafiz don't want to hear nothing she got to say. And he like, matter of fact, you could get out. So they pretty much tell her she got to leave. So she stand up and she's like, y'all about to really, really see where I'm from. So Kanan ended up meeting back up with Breeze, and it looked about a time like right before Jeopardy come on, right before dusk, you feel me? And Kanan is hot. Kanan, we gotta hit Rock back. We gotta do this. We gotta do that. He's still pissed that Uncle Marvin whipped that ass. Kanan like, we gotta hit back. She came at us. Breeze like, ho. Nigga, she came at you. You know what I'm saying? The rest of us is all collateral damage and y'all bullshit. He told them, we gotta be strategic. We gotta measure and mark before we make any kind of moves. And like I said, Kanan always finds a way to piss me off. Toward the end of the episode, Jarita goes and quits. She goes to Flossie and quits. And then I don't know what he called himself doing, but right after Jarita goes and quits, he wait in the hallway. He goes to creep in at Flossie's. He didn't even get 2 steps in. Flossie got a revolver to his head. He end up telling her that he rocks, son. So that's kind of the last scene that you see with him. So, listen, he ain't even all the way healed up from the ass whipping from Marv. So, he really, really pressing his damn luck. We see that after 35 years of serving as the NYPD's finest, Captain Baptiste, he's sitting down in an office chair or a study or somewhere suited up. He put his white gloves on. He gives his little shield a polish. He put his cap on, and then he gets his gun out of one of the drawers, and he cuts his own water off. We end up seeing Garcia meet with Juke and let Juke know, hey, it was Snaps and Pop. It was Snaps and Pop that killed Famous. But peep this, take this whole envelope of money. This is all the money that you ever gave me. I can't do this. I ain't like all them. I'm different. I want to be a good cop. So it seems that he's pretty convicted after his conversation with Baptiste. It doesn't look like he's found out that Baptiste is dead yet, but it does seem that he has a change of heart, and he ain't even spent none of the money. Now we see he got a family and a brand new baby, but he like, nah, I can't even. I don't want to be a part of none of this. But she like, ho. Okay, I heard you. I feel you. I'll take the money back and everything, but I need you to do me one more favor. So she probably going to ask him, can she check into that thing for Marvin or whatever. But baby, by the end, child, we got Rock dressed in all black like the Omen. Eyeliner black, lip liner soft, lips popping, hair layers, curls popping. Her and Marv pull up the Hafiz's spot. She walked in, his right hand, he at the counter counting the money. He look up, see it's her. They done put her out earlier. So he got an attitude. Oh, here we go. I ain't got time for this. Child, Rock was like, it ain't gonna take long. She go to shoot. She pull out something long. He look up. He run. He get in the alley. As soon as he get in the alley, Marvin clip him. She come out slow motion. Her all black trench coat, long black skin tight pants, leather knee high patent leather boots. The man on the ground, but you know her, so it's 2 in the back and 1 in the head. And that's how this episode goes off. So maybe it wasn't as slow as I said it was. So that's how it ends, y'all. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that Flossie is gonna hurt Kanan, even though, we know he healed up, he ends up living? Do you think that, she gonna whip his ass or shoot him or anything? We know that her and Rock's opportunity is probably over. Do y'all think that Juke is gonna tell Kanan about snapping pops, or do y'all think that she's gonna get hers? She gonna get it back in blood by herself for her friend Famous. Do y'all think that what's gonna be the fallout with Rock killing Hafiz? I know that we are definitely meeting the Kanan that we met in the original Power. Like, he shot that boy, he ain't even blink. We watching the last little pieces of his humanity just disappear. They definitely setting the table. We might see a lot more bloodshed. Do y'all think that Marvin Rock is gonna make it to the end? Are we gonna see them in Origins at all? That's the next Power, actually. The spinoff that they're gonna do. They already shown the trailer. That one, Origins, is gonna be the young Ghost and the young Tommy. So we know we're gonna see Kanan in there. Juke's not in there. The actress has been interviewing, and she says that she's not in Origins. Look, for now, because y'all do remember, I was watching old Power clips. Y'all do remember that, or I don't know if y'all caught this, but Juke changed her last name. It was no longer Laverne Thomas when she was a Baltimore cop. She changed it. We're gonna see, child. We got 2 Fridays to go, and we gonna see. Now, if y'all like hanging out with me, listen, subscribe, like, share. Make a comment. Do what you do, but listen, just know that I appreciate you coming back and giving me the time. Until next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Be blessed.